Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Um, Glad to see you folks. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to redo the information that I gave you in the previous live stream on chakra and aura systems, right? Okay, this is beautiful. Let's go ahead and take event. First of all, thank you all. I love you all. And I appreciate you tremendously for helping to do what? To build the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Give me a moment here. I'm gonna adjust the lighting. Seems a little bright. And I'm gonna adjust that down a bit. Let's see, we can get it to there. How that might be a little better. Yeah, that may be just a little bit better. All right. All right, folks. Um, I want to go ahead and get right into it and try to make sure that we keep this flowing with an understanding of we're developing, right, and expanding our understanding of ourselves, of what we are, right. Um, and it is it I think right in line with where we left off, that we start to talk about the energy systems of our body, right, of our being, even because much of that extends beyond our physical body, right, and is multidimensional in nature, even. So yeah, we talk about these two very important systems within our body: the chakra system and the aura system, the auric layers, right? Often sometimes referred to as auric bodies, right? Um, I have some information, or rather some visuals that I wanted to share with you, and talk a little bit about these systems and how they really, in how, in understanding these systems, we can expand upon our ability to understand exactly what we are, um, how we function, right? How we are capable of functioning, um, what we're capable of being at our best selves, which would in turn give us the ability to live our best lives, right? True indeed. So, um, the first one I think I wanted to start with was this visual that just gives us a little bit of and these are just, you can, as with all things, folks, make sure that you're doing your own research and never take anything that I say or anybody else says as the end all be all. Make sure that you do your own research, look into it, and with whatever curriculum or whatever um, source of knowledge or school of thought you choose to do so, and most certainly always look within, right, to make sure that it resonates with you. But yeah, this is just some visuals of some things that I pulled down off of the net. Um, you take a look at this. See if I can get this for you. All right. So um, this is sort of a picture of a depiction of what a chakra would look like, and sort of the flow of it, how the energy would flow, right? So just to get into that a little bit, here it shows that the chakra itself is and I know I'm just holding these pictures up for you. In the future, we'll incorporate some slides and some side by side screens in the presentation. But yeah, the chakra itself is a vortex, right? Which is just to give a quick description of it or quick definition is a pool of energy, an energetic pool, a swirling pool, which the root words describe it as a wheel, right? Um, but this sort of shows the chakra, and these arrows are depicting the motion, right? Remember, I said it's sort of a swirling wheel or a swirling pool of energy. And this sort of depicts how there's a stem, an energetic stem off of the chakra, connecting it to the corresponding stem ending on the center uh, of the, excuse me, the corresponding energetic center on the spine, right? Okay. I thought that that was good to give you a little bit of a visualization of what the chakra, a chakra actually is. Now, you could look at that and, start to have it look like an organ perhaps to you. It's not that much unlike an eye, the way that you see the stem of it, and certainly the nerve endings of an eye will come off. But I do want to reiterate, this is not a picture of a chakra like a chakra is an organ. A chakra is energetic in nature. This depiction is just to give you an idea or visualization of what it would look like if you were to be visualizing it energetically, right? And again, these arrows show you the flow or the motion, the swirling of the energy in the vortex-like motion, right? Okay. Next, I want to show you this visualization of our seven core chakras, right? Now, I say our seven core chakras because, folks, there are many, many chakras, right? Just as our energetic, and it only makes sense just as our energetic cells extend far beyond our physical bodies, then it would make sense that there would be energetic chakras for each extending layer of ourselves energetically. But our core seven, or what we recognize as our core seven chakras, are these. So, starting from this lower chakra, hopefully you can see that good enough. This is our root chakra, right? And what I found interesting about this, not only is it giving you a little bit of a colorization and some of the typical symbols that are associated with the chakras, but it's showing you on each side a couple of things, right? So on this side, it is showing you what that chakra typically is known to be dealing with, right? Like, for example, the root chakra says deals with survival. Okay. And then on the other side, it's showing you some emotional states or some and these are all, if you look at it, higher vibrational and frequency, meaning that when the chakras are fully open, right, you'll find yourself in these higher vibrational frequency states. All right. Here are some lower vibrational frequency states, mental and emotional states, that tend to block the flow, the energetic flow in the chakra, preventing you from the higher expression. Okay, so the root chakra, again, deals with survival, right? When the energy is flowing full at a high vibrational frequency, the chakra is open and able to fully express. It's dealing with your survival. When it is somewhat blocked, right? Or some people even, I've heard to them refer to it as clogged, right? Which I think is also appropriate when you think of it as a pool of energy, right? You can certainly say it's clogged. Either way, um, blocked by fear, right? Um, Number two, or the second chakra moving upward, is your navel or sacral chakra. All right. And that deals with pleasure, right? Now, I mean all forms of pleasure, right? Certainly even like appreciating nature at its very base level, like sitting in um, like a beautiful wilderness setting and being able to appreciate nature is a very base form of pleasure. All right. And one of the states, the lower vibrational frequency states that would block that energetic flow is a state of guilt, right? Um, the third chakra, ascending upward, is your solar plexus chakra, right? And this deals with, as per this pictorial, this deals with willpower, right? When it is fully open and expressing. And one of the lower vibrational frequency states that blocks that full expression is shame. All right. Then ascending upward, we have the fourth chakra or your heart chakra, right? Very important chakra. Deals with love, right? I'm talking about not just romantic love, but all forms of love, right? True unconditional love, which is certainly the most powerful force there is. I even did a video on that. So look for that. And we know that our heart center is where our biosphere resonates from, right? Okay, and it says that that is blocked by a lower vibrational frequency state of grief. All right. Um, Ascending upward, your throat chakra, as a pictorial, it deals with truth. Now, sir, I keep saying as per this pictorial because there are other schools of thought that would give you slightly different areas or states that each chakra will correlate to. It's all the same, folks, or all different aspects of the same picture, should I say, right? Um, but yeah, that deals with truth, right? Um, and the lower vibrational frequency state that would block that would be one of lies, right? Okay, ascending upward, we get to the next chakra, which is your third eye chakra, right? Third eye referring to your pineal organ, but the energetic vortex that controls that and the flow of energy in and out of your pineal, that's incredibly important. This is your third eye chakra, and that deals with your insight, which is one of the attributes of your pineal. Um, and the lower vibrational frequency state correlating that is said to block that is one of illusion, right? Illusion with an I, if I'm not pronouncing that good enough for folks. Um, but that certainly makes sense, right? Um, and then lastly, in the seven is your crown chakra, right? And that deals with um, your cosmic energy, right? Um, which is on point because at that point we're talking about your multidimensional energy or spiritual energy. However you want to look at it, there's many different ways of describing and looking at it, essentially the same thing. And the lower vibrational frequency state that it depicts would block that as one of ego attachment, right? Which makes sense if you ego attachment, are your creature comforts, so to speak, right? And the things that draw you to physicality um, would be converse, obviously, to what would take you from a higher non-physical state or energetic plane. All right. So those are the core seven. Now, there's an eighth chakra that is said to be your direct tie to your spirit, or where your soul layer. Actually, I call it the soul layer, of where your they call the seat of the soul, sort of where your soul lies, and gives you a direct connection to the spiritual realm. I did want to mention that, very important. And also, there's another. They call that your, I believe, your soul star chakra. I believe is the name of that, or at least how I've heard it referred to. Um, Also, with that, there's another very important and powerful chakra that I want to make sure I mention, which is your Earth Star chakra. Now, the Earth Star chakra um, basically is that chakra, that pool of energy that sort of collects at the base of your feet, right? Where you actually connect with Gaia, right? Through Gaia's physical expression, which is the earth. Um, your physical body coming in contact with the physical body of Gaia is essentially the connection point where there's a chakra form there, right? And energetically, that's where you connect with Gaia. I believe they call that the Earth Star chakra. Um, but those are just two more chakras I wanted to make sure I mentioned as well that are not covered in that core seven. All right. Um, Now, something that's interesting, and I mentioned this before. Each of your chakras, just as it connects to your spinal column, right? What else do we know connects to your spinal column via your nervous system? That's all of your organic systems, right? All of your organs. All of your organs have nerve extensions that connect up at the spine, right? And that feed information directly to the brain. Um, and the same is, or at least similar, is the connection of the chakras to each of these organ systems, right? Like your organs, some of your organs can have independent function and function independently, but most of your organs operate and cooperate with each other in systems. Like, for example, your digestive system, right? Um, is several different organs, you know, operating together, cooperating together, your stomach, your large and small intestines, etc. Um, but it's similar the way that your chakras operate corresponding to organ systems in your body, right? And that connection all happens at the spinal column. Now, in general, this gives you some suggested connections. I say suggested because I've seen other correlations or other ways of it being depicted that would show the correlation between each chakra and the corresponding organ or organ group or organ system, shall we say, right? But this gives you somewhat of a depiction of that. All right. And just to go through this real quick, because this is just something I pulled down off of the net. Um, just an image actually, and I'm just expounding on it. Um, so it says the seven chakras, endocrine system, right? Um, the crown chakra, it's showing ties directly to the pituitary gland, which is produces hormones and governs the function of other glands. Um, which we could certainly go on and on about the pituitary gland. That's a very all of these are very, very basic descriptions, right? Your third eye chakra correlating to your pineal gland, as I was saying before, regulates biological cycles, including sleep. Certainly, we could really go on much further detail about your pineal. Throat chakra correlating to the thyroid gland, regulating body temperature and metabolism. Also, a lot of other functions of the thyroid as well, certainly. Heart chakra correlating to the thymus gland, regulating the immune system. Certainly, a lot more there. The solar plexus chakra tying to the pancreas, regulating metabolism, amongst other things that happen in your pancreas. The sacral chakra or your navel chakra correlating to the adrenal glands, regulating the immune system and metabolism in different ways, um, corresponding to the adrenal fluid and other enzymes that are released by the adrenal glands. All right. The root chakra correlating to the reproductive glands, right? In both the female and the male. All right, folks. So that's just a quick little depiction there of how some of those ties relate directly from an energetic vortex to actual organ function, right? Okay. All right. So that gives us a little bit of a picture of our chakra system, right? We can go in much greater depth um, and about our chakra system, and there are scores of books that you can go out and get and read about it, and information out there that you can supplement with this video. But that does give you a picture of how that system looks and operates, right? Um, Now, I want to tie it to the next system, which is our auric system, our auric bodies. And the way that ties in is interesting, and pardon me folks, just try to organize some things here in this space. Um yeah, it's very interesting to me, in that we've all sort of heard some acknowledgement of an aura, right? That we all have an aura. And we typically, at least I know growing up, that's how it was described or depicted. Oh, that's your aura. But in reality, your aura is layered, is in multiple layers, right? And your aura is your energetic expression, or rather the electromagnetic field, which I refer to as your biosphere, that extends from your heart center, from your body, out in layers, in these auric bodies, or these auric aura layers, right? And these layers, this, in a very similar way that the chakras correspond to the um, different centers in the body along the spine, and also to the different organ systems in the body, so do these org bodies correspond to the different organ system bodies, the different organ systems in the body, um, and have profound impact on function of said organs, right? Glands and organs. And they tie in generally through the chakra system. These chakras correspond to the org bodies, right? Um, and they sort of connect up in a similar fashion, although there is not the physical connection that you have where the chakras actually tie into your physical body, but you have the energetic connection where the auric bodies tie into each of the chakras. Um, and then there's the fact that the your biosphere extends from your actual heart center, right? Okay. So what this is a depiction, a pictorial that depicts seven of those layers. Now, I have seen 12 of those layers described or depicted. Um, and I know that there are certainly many more, right? As again, folks, your energetic body um, extends on actually indefinitely, right? I mean, how many dimensions are there? We're talking about multidimensional energy. How many dimensions in which do you exist, right? So, we can't put a cap on that. But just for the sake of this, of getting a general understanding of how these systems correlate and work with each other, this is I think, a pretty good pictorial. It goes into seven layers of the human aura, and it shows you seven different layers and sort of um, some of the energetic things that they connect to. And you can see how this correlates to your auric bodies when they are in full expression. That would be that left side of the pictorial. I'll show you again quickly. The chakras in full expression, right? Dealing with cosmic energy, insight, truth, love, willpower, pleasure, and survival, right? Okay. So, sort of picture, and you can even make the correlation in the description, I think, right? I certainly did in reading the description here. The correlation between those chakras and these auric bodies, right? Seven layers of the human aura. So you see how these layers extend outwardly from the human being, right? And you even see some illumination to the chakra centers, right? They correspond with actually with these auric bodies. Now, I'll just go through these seven quickly as they're described in this. Certainly very difficult to read the description, but I'll start with we'll ascend up from the first level the same way we did with the chakra system. So the first level is the etheric level, right? Um, and this is the level part me. It's very faint, these descriptions, so I may have to hold it like this to read it. But it's the matrix upon which the human tissue is formed, and healing in this auric body is from becoming fit and strong, right? With each of them, it gives you a brief description of how healing can take place in that auric body. Second, or the second auric level is the emotional level. All right. Um, so the first layer is this layer here. So this faint bluish layer, very much connected to the physical body. And then directly after that, there's another multicolored layer, right?